Okay, so my topic that I chose quite a while ago is titled Bitter or Better. And Buddha is one of my favorite people. I don't know how you feel about him, but I love him. And it's kind of like what you just said, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And I think that is just so funny because it's true. Every experience in your life is being orchestrated to teach you something you need to know to move forward. And that's why unknown, but it doesn't matter. It's a great quote. Choosing to see challenges as lessons helps us grow rather than grow bitter. And then under the Buddha one, I forgot to read this, letting go of bitterness frees us to embrace a better path. You either get bitter or you get better. It's that simple. You take what has been dealt to you and allow it to make you a better person, or you allow it to tear you down. Unknown. The choice to learn and grow lies within each of us. Then here's my little writing on the topic. Life presents us with challenges. So many times I hear people ask, why did God do this to me? God is not doing anything to us. This is life. As difficult as some of the challenges have been, I am all in. I cannot or did not choose what occurred around me, or maybe I did and did not know it. But I can surely decide how I handle it. I can become bitter by the situation, or I can choose to become better. I can take each experience and learn the lesson it has to teach. I can open my heart wider. I can give more love. Bitter or better, it is mine to choose. So as I think about things that have happened in our lives, the biggest being losing our son 5 months ago, and that's just not the order. It's not how it should be, according to me. But I've read so much and I've talked to so many people about it, and I hear the same thing from everyone. They go, eventually, the pain is tolerable. And what's interesting is it comes in waves, and when you get under one, it really feels like you're going to drown, especially for me because I can't swim. So when I get under one of those waves, it's like, I don't know how exactly. I would need you to come rescue me. I don't know exactly, how I'm going to come out of it, but I do. And what I realized is that I have choices. I can mourn for years, and I don't probably have that many years left, although my granddaughter just told me a few weeks ago, Mom, don't you think Grandma's in such good shape? She could probably live another 30 years. And I'm thinking, oh God, no, I hope not. I don't think I want to be 109. I mean, that's kind of, But the point being is I get to choose how I want to live these years. And so what I decided, I have not been bitter, not one moment during this, because I have been grateful and I have thanked God for, number one, giving me 3 children. Some people have only one and lose one. Some people lose other children. I still have 2 children left, and this son left 3 beautiful grandchildren. And we have 6 beautiful grandchildren, and I have my husband, and I have my friends. And so I decided, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to make things better? Well, one of the things was Steve and I went to a grief group that was recommended. And I will tell you what, even if you have no grief and you would like to acquire some, go to this group. Because when you leave, you will be so filled with grief that you can't drive home. And we looked at each other, we tried it I think 3 or 4 times, and we said, this has got to go. And I started thinking, what do I want to do? And one of them was to start a grief group, which we've done. And it's really going well. I've been getting really nice texts and emails from people who've said it is helping them so much. And I decided that it needed to have an order. The 12 Steps is one of my most favorite programs in the world. I don't know how many of you are familiar with it, but so many people who are have said that it's changed their life. It's actually what got me to a Unity church. So through the 12 Steps is how I got introduced to metaphysics. You know, when I started thinking about it, and I thought, everything needs an order. So this group has an order. It has, I don't want to say rules, but guidelines. I wrote a Bill of Rights for grievers. We have different topics that we discuss. And it has a form to it. And I feel like people leave feeling a little better. I have always loved doing memorial services because I love to be compassionate with the families. And especially when my son passed away, I decided I really want to do more of these. Well, you know, it's funny how you put it out there, and I got a call on Saturday from one of my Unity friends, who's a Unity teacher, and she said, I have a memorial service to do on Tuesday, but I can't do it because of yada, yada, yada. Well, I called the gentleman, and it was the most delightful talk, and it was like, I knew his mother when I hung up that phone from him, and he was laughing when he was talking about his mother. She passed away at 101, November 3rd. She read the Unity Daily Word every day. She danced, she sang, she used to do crafts at Central Hardware and teach people how to do all of these wonderful things. And he said she danced and sang until she was like 101, and he is just laughing as he's talking about his mother. And he said she was the kindest human being. She never said an unkind word about anyone. And I feel so thrilled to be able to facilitate, to be the facilitator for such a joyful departure. And I really felt like an empath because I felt like I knew her. And I wrote it really quickly because, you know, I felt it, and I sent it to him yesterday, and I said, I hope I captured your mother. And he just wrote back, awesome. Because I knew her through his description. And I thought, we can make everything better. I mean, you know, things happen. We have expectations. We have expectations for our family. We have expectations for our own lives. We have expectations for our country, for the world, for all kinds of things. And they don't always come out the way I want them. But if I believe that God is good all the time, and that was what I had to keep saying when our son passed, because he didn't pass in a natural way. And I had to keep saying, if God is good all the time, then this is exactly what was supposed to happen, when it happened, and how it happened, right? Because how can God be good all the time as long as I get what I want? Because I am not God. I mean, we are all God. We all have little parts of God, just like a wave is part of the ocean. But we're not the whole thing. I can't even make a little tiny rock. Brenda, maybe you can, but I can't, much less form a mountain or an ocean or a tornado. Well, I don't know that I want to be doing those, but I guess they must have purpose because they're here, right? So what I've learned from all of this is that being bitter just poisons me and everyone around me. And I've made up my mind that I have a friend who lost a child and a husband, and we cry together. Sometimes I'll just go over to her house and we'll just sob together, and that's okay. But when I go out of the house and I go somewhere and I'm out in public, I do not need to show my grief on my face because every single person sitting in this room has experienced grief, right? Anybody whose family has lived forever? I don't know a single soul. Because as my dad said, honey, no one's getting out of here alive. I mean, I think we will be alive. We always are alive, but in a different form. And it's learning to graciously let go of the things that we think we don't want. My best teachers have been the ones that have been unkind to me. And I've had some pretty unkind teachers. And they taught me a lot. Number one, that I don't need to believe everything they say. That just because they tell me this is who I am and what I am, that does not make it true. Number two, they showed me how I don't want to be. How I choose not to treat other people. Where are you going to learn those lessons? I was just saying to tiny little Jenny, and it's so great because she's tiny. She's only 4'11" and I'm 5 feet, so I can call her tiny. So I was saying that to her, about learning and how much we can learn. The lessons we get from people who are not always that kind to us. It doesn't mean we like it. I had a mom that had a lot of issues, and I learned a lot that I didn't want to continue that particular trajectory. And I had a really wonderful experience this weekend. Something happened where my niece was very, very, very upset with her parents and the whole family. And she wasn't going to come to Thanksgiving. And I was really pleased. My sister-in-law called me and asked me what to do. I said, my advice would be just very simply text her and tell her that no matter what went on or what the outcome was, I am your parent and I love you and we don't need to agree on everything. Now my brother is another story because I have 2 brothers and I couldn't tell you which one is more stubborn. So my brother started going off on, well, you don't understand, this is how she behaved. I said, stop. For a moment, be a father. Text her. Tell her you love her. It doesn't matter what occurred. It doesn't matter that you don't agree, but she is your daughter and you love her. And they did. And the next morning, I got a text from my niece with their text. And she goes, Aunt Marlene, I'm so excited. This is what I got. And yada, da, da, da. And that was all that I needed. And I'll be there Thanksgiving. And she and I have always, we always joke that she was given to the wrong family because she's really our daughter because we're so much alike. So we've always been able to, to communicate. That felt so good because I was able to take a situation that could have been really messy and I was able to help. I didn't do it, but at least to suggest a peaceful solution rather than continue. So I want to quickly end with my poem and then do a very short meditation. bitter or better. All through life, there are so many choices. In my head, I hear so many voices, most of them being my own. Sometimes I like what I say. Other times I groan at the things I am thinking, the things I am feeling. My stomach in turmoil, my body reeling from the shock, the loss, the disappointment. I cannot make it better with a pill or some ointment. It is life. People, me, experience pain. At times I do not believe sun will shine after the rain. It feels so dark. It feels so bleak. My heart hurts. My knees are weak. Will I ever move from this wretched place? Will there ever be a smile on my face? In essence, it is all up to me. As I look at life, what do I wish to see? The blessings, the love, the joy every day, or be bitter about things not going my way? I am not the master of the universe. Actually, that would be a curse. I cannot even create a tiny rock or stop the rain. I cannot block the sun or create a star. I am so small, I cannot see that far. I have to trust there is so much more, yet it must be me that opens the door. When things happen that cause me grief, what do I choose to get the relief I need to continue on? To live until my life is complete? How do I continue to stand on my feet? For me, I choose it by becoming better, assisting people, giving a hug, writing a letter, helping someone, giving them my time, sharing my gifts, showing my caring. For me, choosing not to be bitter each day lightens my load along the way. Yes, I still hurt, at times quite sad, yet not giving myself over to being mad. Gratitude for what I have has become the key to helping myself become a better me. Thank you and God bless.